footballing occasion that would have been tailor-made for Motti. Anyone who's loved their football on the BBC over the last 50 years is going to miss him dearly, as we discussed earlier in the programme. Thank you for the commentaries, thank you for the entertainment. Rest in peace, John. It would be lovely to think he is up there listening somewhere. Right, Manchester United against Barcelona, 2-2 from the first leg. Hear the words of Erik ten Hag in his programme notes, first couple of sentences. Good evening and welcome back to Old Trafford. This is a huge game, no doubt. Two of the biggest clubs in the world with massive histories and huge amounts of talent going head-to-head for the win. And if this game is anything like our 2-2 draw in Barcelona last week, I think the whole world will want to watch and listen. Peter Schmeichel, I couldn't have put it better myself. We're in a giant cauldron of noise. The excitement's been building all day in Manchester. I've been walking through the city, and as Guillaume was explaining, seeing the fans mixing together, it's crazy outside the stadium as well. I don't think there's anyone more excited in this stadium though than you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're talking about two football clubs who hasn't been in the best of forms for a long time. One club in great financial difficulties, can't sign players, can't get them registered. But they found some form. They found a really good manager who's been able to bring in young players, develop it into a really, really strong team and leading La Liga. And of course, Manchester United, new manager again. You always have this fear that this is probably not the right one. Can he do what he's supposed to do? And in 8 months or whatever it is, 7 months, he's just giving us so much to be optimistic about. And of course, it's Manchester United, Barcelona. What can you say?
Yeah, and Peter, sitting here alongside us in the commentary box at Old Trafford, played in 3 of these games, I believe. Peter, the Champions League winning team that you were a part of in 98-99, had 2 thrilling 3-all draws against Barcelona. There was a 2-2 you played in back in 1994. Crucially, because of the homegrown rule, you couldn't then go and play in the Nou Camp, could you, which Barcelona won 4-0.
Yeah, it's still, I know it's going to sound silly, but it's still one of them games that still hurts so much.
Really?
Because we sit here, we're excited, we're watching Man United against Barcelona, but think about it from a player's perspective. These are the games you want to play, and then because of some rule, you're not allowed, because of your nationality, you're not allowed to play this game. When is that next opportunity going to come around? So yes, it still hurts. That was, and also of course, being played off the park, losing 4-0, it was a humiliation that was very hard to take. It probably put us in a better place because we learned so much from it, but sat there in the Nou Camp watching that. Not the greatest night, I tell you that.
So that is the voice of great experience, great Manchester United experience, European experience, world-class experience, sitting alongside us on BBC Radio 5 Live, the BBC Sounds app, and welcome to our listeners on BBC Radio Manchester tonight as well. There are big plumes of smoke still in the air away to our right above the heads of the Barcelona fans, that sort of acrid smell of the smoke in your nostrils as well. Manchester United 2-2 from the first leg against Barcelona. Red shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops for the home team. Their star man Marcus Rashford, hands on hips, shirt loosely untucked on a beautiful clear night in Manchester, just waiting for the referee's whistle. And Barcelona, 5 times European Cup winners, but never winners of this particular UEFA competition, all in gold this evening, defending the goal in front of the East Stand, away to our right. We are underway. Andreas Christensen, former Chelsea man on the ball, clears for Barcelona. Rafael Varane steps in, lobs one high down the middle of the pitch to Weghorst. De Jong jumps into his fellow Dutchman. Manchester United fans go up appealing for a free kick, nothing given. Christensen clips a ball, a diagonal ball out from inside his own penalty area. And now the attack builds with Jules Koundé down the right. First touch for Lewandowski, plays the little 1-2. It goes wider down the right-hand side. Rashford comes back to make a tackle for Manchester United, and the referee, Clément Turpin of France, just looks for guidance from his assistant referee there to tell him who gets the throw. That is Barcelona wide on the right with just less than a minute played. Manchester United 0, Barcelona 0. The last commentary I did with Peter Schmeichel, the only commentary I've done with Peter Schmeichel actually, was at the World Cup. Just before the turn of the year, we saw Japan against Croatia go all the way to a penalty shootout, Peter. That could actually potentially be the same tonight.
It could. I hope not, of course. I hope not. I hope that Manchester United are good enough, playing well enough, and can take control of this game and make sure that they go through in 90 minutes.
Barcelona have a player down. We've got a slight stoppage in play. I think it's Jules Koundé, the right back, and Luke Shaw has just stepped on the top of his right boot. So Shaw sticks a leg out to make a tackle, misses the ball or gets a glancing blow on it, and he's just come right down on the top of Koundé's right boot. And actually interesting, Peter, I was just going to pick up on the tactical side of things. So Araujo started at right back for Barcelona in the first half because they thought Marcus Rashford was going to play wide left and Koundé played it right-sided centre-back. Tonight it's Koundé who's in the right-back role and Araujo has started on the right side of central defence. Manchester United have David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Lisandro Martinez back from suspension for this leg, and Luke Shaw the back four. Casemiro and Fred, the two Brazilians in front. Bruno Fernandes, the Portuguese one, Wout Weghorst and Jadon Sancho in behind Rashford. Casemiro, first interception of the night, tries to thread a ball through. Busquets is there, and then Casemiro gets another chance, releases Bruno Fernandes. The flag stays down, great chance, and Ter Stegen blocks with his right leg. Fernandes shot across him for the far corner, and Ter Stegen stuck a leg out and made a block. First great chance of the night. Here's Casemiro again. He hits a shot from the edge of the box. It actually hits Weghorst. Lewandowski tries to control inside his own half, and Manchester United go hunting the ball again. Here's Rashford chasing it on the left. Oh, there's a little nutmeg on Koundé. Koundé gets back and makes a tackle. The ball, it's still in play wide on the left. Played back to Casemiro. Pacey cross right across the face of goal, and behind for a goal kick finish, Michael.
And precisely what this game needs from a Manchester United point of view. A couple of tackles flying in. Casemiro wins the ball in midfield, gets the crowd going. He spots Bruno Fernandes and might just have been offside. Flag didn't go up. It was a 1-on-1 against Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen kept his cool, waited, and Bruno Fernandes tried to put it across. He stuck a leg out and saved the ball. Good save, big miss.
Yeah, end-to-end at the Nou Camp, and end-to-end we go at Old Trafford in the early stages here. 0-0, Barcelona now, it's their turn to attack. They've got the ball in central midfield. Sergi Roberto has curled a low pass out to the right-hand side. Rafinha with a wicked left foot shot that goes flying over the crossbar, and David De Gea has a right good shout a la Peter Schmeichel at a couple of defenders in front of him. That's what you used to do, wasn't it, Peter?
Yeah, I forgot. It was so long ago. I can't remember what it was like. But I think we have to accept, first of all, expect, but then accept that Barcelona will have chances because obviously the quality of players like Rafinha, but the players got to be aware of who they're up against, because we've seen that time and time again, from to cut on the inside and then try to place it top corner the other side, and I think that's what David De Gea he reacted to.
4 minutes gone, Manchester United 0, Barcelona 0 in this second leg. And don't forget, this is Europa League playoff round. This is to get into the draw for the last 16. Friday afternoon's draw, midday it will start. Arsenal, one of those teams waiting in the last 16. If Barcelona get through, Arsenal could obviously play Barcelona. They couldn't draw Manchester United in the last 16. Barcelona trying to play out. Balde, the 19-year-old left back, has given it away. Manchester United players just stopped there for a second, and Balde nipped in and took it back. He's played Christensen into a spot of bother. Clears, off balance. Casemiro intercepts as always. Here's Bruno Fernandes looking for Rashford. Good first touch, and then he's caught, I think, right on the edge of the box. Referee Turpin just wags a finger and says there wasn't a foul there. Then the ball hits the referee. We'll have a drop ball. Barcelona will get possession, and again, the referee there, Peter, is looking at Marcus Rashford, who's sort of looking back at him plaintively and saying, well, how come I didn't get the decision? And he's wagged a finger at him again.
Yeah, that's a foul, by the way. And I cannot for the life of me understand why he hasn't given that. We see this in slow motion now. Koundé comes in. Oh, it's a clear. It's actually Busquets who kicks Marcus Rashford right on the line. Maybe, I'm not sure he's on the line, but it's very, very close. And I don't know. Referee was very well placed. I cannot understand why he hasn't given that.
Ter Stegen floats a little ball out of his penalty area with the right foot. Rashford wide on the left at the moment. Jadon Sancho tucked inside, and Wout Weghorst at this current time in the centre forward role, just backing in towards the two Barcelona centre backs. I'll give you that full Barcelona lineup in just a second. Let's do it now, in fact. Ter Stegen in goal, Jules Koundé right back, Alex Balde left back, Ronald Araujo, Andreas Christensen the two centre backs. Weghorst is trying to win a ball high up the field for Manchester United, but chance for Barcelona to clear. It's Rafinha all the way back there doing the defending, just smashes it downfield, and Varane under pressure from Lewandowski, dummies a pass back, fools Lewandowski and plays a nice little ball into midfield. Casemiro takes control and plays back to Wan-Bissaka. Sergio Busquets at the base of the Barcelona midfield, Kessie and De Jong either side, and Rafinha and Sergi Roberto with Robert Lewandowski through the middle. Good skills from Frankie de Jong. De Jong, though, being chased and harried by Fred, so he's got to go all the way back to the halfway line. He won't mind that. Barcelona will build. Araujo will stroke a ball down the middle of the pitch, and Roberto is tackled, and tackled well by Wan-Bissaka. Can Manchester United turn it into a devastating counter? Casemiro plays a 1-2. Wan-Bissaka is involved again. Low pass out to the right to Fernandes, looking for the run of Wan-Bissaka back in towards that penalty area. Balde is strong. He bumps off Bruno Fernandes, then plays a ball to his right to Frankie de Jong just outside the Barcelona box, and Barcelona will start to knock it around and calmly build out from the back.
Yeah, but it's really good play by Manchester United. Once the ball gets to Bruno Fernandes, you expect a better quality pass than what he delivered. He played it straight to Balde. So they just need to concentrate a little bit more, because the opportunities are there. Barcelona are not sitting back. They're committing people forward. So once they get these opportunities, take advantage of the space created.
Barcelona and Manchester United 0-0, 2-2 from the first leg. Extra time and penalties if need be, and away goals count for absolutely nothing. So scoring the two in the Nou Camp obviously puts Manchester United in a good position going into this game, but nothing extra for the away goals.
That gives them a lot of confidence that they scored two against this team.
Here's Wan-Bissaka into the Barcelona half, followed back by Balde, holds him off. Fred lets it go. Good call from Casemiro. Casemiro away from Kessie, shoved to the floor. Has to be a free kick in the middle of the Barcelona half, and the referee this time agrees. Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah, it was nice to see the referee giving a free kick. I think what he wants to do, referee, I can understand why he's coming. He wants to give this game a bit of flow. Let it run, because it is. For him, it's a massive game as well. Well, when it's blatant mistakes, of free kicks, he's got to give them. This is in a good position for Manchester United. Luke Shaw, Bruno Fernandes are over, so right-footed, left-footed player. It could go anywhere, this.
Manchester United, as we look at it, attacking the goal away to our right, playing towards the east stand, Stretford end behind them. Little conference between the bearded Bruno Fernandes, long-sleeve red shirt, and Luke Shaw with those stocky legs, baggy shorts, socks rolled down. He leaves it to Fernandes with his right foot, curls the ball in towards the penalty spot. Weghorst jumps, he's beaten in the air. It falls to Wan-Bissaka, who just side foots a pass along the turf wide to his left to Casemiro. Nice first time ball from Sancho. Here's Wan-Bissaka playing left wing, beats one man, and then the cross with his left foot is sliced. Rashford was attacking it well beyond him, and behind it goes for a goal kick.
Last time I saw a Manchester United right fullback on the left wing was in the Nou Camp in 1999. Gary Neville winning a corner kick that we scored from and won the Champions League final.
There we go. History didn't quite repeat itself at Old Trafford this evening. Peter Schmeichel sitting alongside. Manchester United 0, Barcelona 0. Balde knocks the ball round Bruno Fernandes, collects the other side, runs through the challenger Fred. Balde still going up to the edge of the box. Did Fred clip him from behind? Yes, he did. And that is a free kick in a shooting position for Barcelona. 25 yards from goal, just left of centre.
Balde did well to get past Bruno Fernandes. He shouldn't have gone past Fred. And Fred chasing him just clipped him about 30 yards out from goal, 35 yards out from goal. It's a situation now for Barcelona to take advantage of.
Yep, so as the goalkeeper here, David De Gea, Peter Schmeichel, what's he got to do? In fact,
well, I like what he's doing now. So 35 yards away from goal, maybe 10 yards away from centre. He's not putting up a wall. He's not giving anybody anything to aim at 10 yards away. So the goal's going to look a little bit smaller than normal from that distance. But then, of course, he has got to cover the whole goal.
So he stands in the middle of that goal. Jadon Sancho's a sort of one-man wall. 10 yards from the ball, directly in line with it. Rafinha's taken a couple of deep breaths, looking for the curling ball in towards the far post. Here it comes, volleyed away by Casemiro. Sancho is there, lets it bounce, side foots it to Fred, who gently returns it just beyond Sancho. De Jong covers that ball, and it goes out of play for a Barcelona throw. De Jong takes it himself, comes up that steep slope just to the side of the pitch here at Old Trafford, runs to the line and throws it into the feet of Frank Kessie, the Ivorian, one of Barcelona's three midfielders, that tall, distinctive figure of Sergio Busquets, right in the heart of the action. Part of the Barcelona team that came here in the Champions League quarter-finals 2019 and won the game by a 1-0, went through 4-0 on aggregate. This their 6th visit to Old Trafford, and that actually their only win in those games. Christensen plays back to Ter Stegen. German goalkeeper all in green. Weghorst closes in. Ter Stegen draws him in and then floats a ball right down the middle of the pitch. Headed to Lewandowski, who brings it down well on his chest and then turns and runs towards his left. Little 1-2 with Balde, so Lewandowski very deep, just plays back into his own half.
It's interesting actually, in all the build-up we've done, we haven't even mentioned Lewandowski, who is still a player. You just got to keep an eye on him. He will just sort of roam around, not being in the number 9 position, and then all of a sudden he's there.
Defending for Manchester United to do. Sliding challenge from Sergio Roberto and Lisandro Martinez as he cleared. Sergio Roberto was late, he caught him. It will be a free kick. I don't think it'll be a yellow card. And just to make your point for you with the stats, Peter, so since joining Barcelona, first season for Lewandowski, 29 appearances, 24 goals.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. I think he is one of the best strikers that has ever been around. But the thing about Lewandowski is he's not just goals. He has, in the last couple of years, he's turned his game into also being a provider of goals. So I don't know what the stats on assists, what they are, but he's really provided a lot of goals.
Manchester United with a high lofted ball out towards Marcus Rashford, brought it down superbly. Glued to the end of his right toe, takes his man on, beats him on the outside, sliding challenge on him. It took 2 Barcelona defenders to stop him. They couldn't stop him in the Nou Camp either, and he's won Manchester United a corner.
Unbelievable form that he's in. Form of his life, there's no doubt about that. He is so full of confidence, and he's trying out all the tricks and succeeding most of the times.
Yeah.
The angle was a little bit narrow, not enough to put a finish in, but he's got a corner kick.
Shaw cuts the corner back, plays a 1-2 with Fred. Shaw's got the ball by the corner flag on the left, back to Fred again. Cross comes in, easy header away for Lewandowski, puts a lot of power in that, and the ball goes all the way up towards the halfway line. Jadon Sancho trots back to collect for Manchester United. So coming up to 14 minutes played, Luke Shaw stayed high, chests that ball down, plays it in field to Rashford. Rashford again with a little drag. This time Koundé doesn't fall for it, watches the ball and blocks it with his right foot. Plays up to Lewandowski. Varane breathing down his neck, sends him back into his own half. Lewandowski plays back to Araujo, who just chips the ball down the right to Koundé. Koundé's pass infield, easily intercepted by Varane. Now it's nodded down to Busquets, who just lobs a little pass to the halfway line. Bruno Fernandes read it, came racing back, plays back to his goalkeeper De Gea, who gives it a massive heave-ho on the half volley and knocks it all the way downfield into the opposition penalty area.
Does that count as a shot on target? Because if he'd left it, Ter Stegen would have gone in.
Early ball possession stats have just popped up on the screen. Barcelona 65%, Manchester United 35%. Crucial stat is it's 0-0 and it's 2-2 on aggregate.
But in many ways that's not really important from a Manchester United point of view. It's all about, what are you allowing Barcelona to do when they have the ball, and so far not a lot.
Right, here come Barcelona. Pass to Kessie in the inside right channel. Koundé in the attack. Ball into the far post. Varane with a back header flicked away outside the penalty area. Balde's there. Goes down. Oh, he's given a penalty. Bruno Fernandes was right behind Alex Balde. Was about to bring the ball away. Balde went down very slowly, and the referee's blown his whistle straight away and pointed to the spot. Was he tugged by an arm by Bruno Fernandes?
So I'm only seeing that replayed from the main angle now. It looks like a penalty. It's so stupid. I cannot tell you how stupid that is, to pull a man down so blatantly inside the penalty area in a situation where Balde is actually going away from goal. This is what I talk about when we talk about, it's a penalty. He's pulled him down.
Yeah, they've hooked arms, haven't they?
He's pulled him down. There's no way VAR is going to reverse that. That is just stupid.
That's the point, Peter. VAR will have a look at it, but because of the contact, and it may not be that heavy, but you're right, because of the contact, there's no way they're going to overturn that.
But that's not. That's the. It doesn't matter how much the contact is. What he's done, he's taken Balde out of balance, and he's gone down. That's a clear penalty there. They've got no case. Absolutely and it's just silly. It's unnecessary. Balde was going away from goal. He was going nowhere. Just let him go. Now Barcelona have a chance, and of course we haven't spoken about Lewandowski at all.
Yeah.
And now he's got the ball on the penalty spot, and David De Gea, he needs to save this. He needs to save that. Come on, David.
That's all you need to do, David, says Peter Schmeichel, who stood in that goal plenty of times for Manchester United. One of the greatest finishers in world football, in his gold Barcelona shirt, has been gifted a chance to put Barcelona ahead on the night and ahead in the tie. Bruno Fernandes with the challenge on Alex Balde conceded the penalty. Manchester United have delayed the taking of it to try and put Robert Lewandowski off. Scarves waving, hands clapping in the Stretford end behind him. He's going to take his time. Clement Turpin yet to blow the whistle, having a word with all the Manchester United defenders who are waiting to race in from the edge of the box. Bruno Fernandes still chuntering away about the concession of the penalty. We're ready to go. Lewandowski stands about 6 yards from the ball, moves twice, 2 steps to his left, stops, delays, hits it. Oh, De Gea got a hand, and it's in off the post. And Barcelona take the lead on the night. De Gea guessed the right way, nearly made a fabulous save, but Robert Lewandowski's penalty ends up in the back of the net. Manchester United 0, Barcelona 1 on the night, and Barcelona now lead 3-2 overall.
Oh, I really feel for David De Gea there. He guessed right, but he guessed low, and Lewandowski put it high. He got a full hand to it, but only managed to put it up on the post, and it went in. Man United are 1-0 down. We talk about big games anywhere. The one thing you have to eradicate in these big games is mistakes. Bruno Fernandes is still arguing. He needs to get a grip of himself, start concentrating. He's already had a couple of sloppy passes, and he's given the penalty away, completely unnecessary. Now he owns the team. He's got to control himself. He's still arguing.
Yeah, still
going. I don't know why he's doing that.
18 minutes played, first half, plenty of time for Manchester United to get back in the game. We hope you're enjoying the commentary on BBC Radio 5 Live, BBC Sounds app if you're on the move, and BBC Radio Manchester tonight as well. The home team behind them. Jadon Sancho bringing it forward. Luke Shaw in support, driving through the heart of the Barcelona defence. Runs into Araujo, goes flying.
Come on, referee.
Referee says no free kick. He's unmoved, Peter.
I know. I mean, Luke Shaw gets a ball. He gets a nice pass, and he's absolutely hammered by 3 players. And there's no doubt in my mind that is a free kick. That's another example of
He's run into the brick wall, Araujo, and Araujo, actually the Uruguayan centre-back, is down. Luke Shaw was moving at pace. As Peter says,
a free kick. That is a free kick.
He tried to flick the ball past Araujo, ran straight into Araujo, just stood there. Shaw went flying. He's picked himself up. Araujo is still down.
I've got to say, I've just seen it from another angle. It was a free kick. Well done, referee. But it's just when we watch it from here, it most certainly looked like a free kick, and then the replay shows that it's a free kick, and then you get the reverse angle, and you can see that it wasn't. Yeah. So fair dues to the referee. Araujo he's still down injured. I think he came off the worst from that.
Yeah, I think you can be forgiven, Peter, considering you made almost 400 appearances for this club. We know how you feel. Manchester United behind. We're just getting another look at the penalty decision. Just no need to grab Balde from Bruno Fernandes, was there?
I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, he's a vastly experienced player. He's also a player that when he gets touched in a situation, he will go down himself. So he knows any touch inside the box, a player will take advantage of it. I'm not saying that Balde dived, because I don't think he did, but it wasn't like a clear pull.
No.
But it was enough, and it was a penalty. And now Man United are 1-0 down.
In the earlier kickoffs in the Europa League, the Monaco-Bayer Leverkusen tie is now going to penalties. Bayer Leverkusen have won away to Monaco 3-2 tonight. It's finished 5-5 on aggregate. That game currently going to penalties. Sporting already through to the last 16. Juventus through. And Sevilla through, although they lost 2-0 away to PSV tonight, but have won that first leg 3-0. So Sevilla are through. The 8 o'clock kickoffs are underway. The other 3 games in the Europa League playoff round second legs, all goalless. This one sees Barcelona leading by a 1-0, and Manchester United with defending to do. Kessie looking for the through ball to Lewandowski, takes a tumble on the edge of the box, and the referee's not having that one either, so David De Gea is allowed to pick it up and looks for a teammate. He bowls the ball out underarm to Varane, standing on the corner of the Manchester United penalty area. Wan-Bissaka plays it back to Varane, closed down quickly by Roberto to Wan-Bissaka, pops his pass inside to Fred, little 1-2 with Casemiro. Barcelona still chasing here, but Manchester United keep it, and then Weghorst gets a little nudge in the back from Araujo. Free kick given, he wants to take it quickly, Araujo stops him from doing so.
Yeah, Weghorst, we haven't talked about Weghorst at all. He's a little bit of the odd one out for me here. So, he started every game since he arrived. I'm still waiting to see if he is good enough to play for this. So far, I don't think he has.
Martinez, diagonal ball, and Fernandes hits it on the volley, didn't catch it properly, bounces once into the turf, and Ter Stegen makes a very comfortable save. What
a very, very good pass from Martinez there. And actually, it is a really big chance. Bruno Fernandes doesn't connect well with it. It's a pass over 40 yards, and he should have done better. So that's now a very big chance, very, very big miss. A penalty given away, and now another sort of not so big as the first one, but still expect him to do better that he hasn't converted on.
Maybe Xavi's comments about the Portuguese one have got to him. Midway through the first half, Xavi applauds his Barcelona team, wrapped up in a big black coat this evening. Kessie picks it up wide on the right. Shaw's there to block the cross. Back it comes to Rafinha, the former Leeds United winger. His cross hits the body of Casemiro. Sancho chases the loose ball, but Barcelona come again down the right. Rafinha loves to drop that shoulder and move inside onto that left foot. Kessie with a little trick on the edge of the box. Shaw follows him. Still Kessie. Pace on the pass. Balde, nice first touch. Wan-Bissaka will get there first and just clip a little ball away along the byline and out for a throw into Barcelona by the corner flag on the left.
Manchester United need to be a little bit careful now. One way to win this football game is, of course, to work hard. There's a couple of players not working hard enough. So Weghorst is not tracking back, and so is Rashford as well. Needs to be back helping out defence. That's how this game plays, and that's the way that Ten Hag wants to play.
Bruno Fernandes floated pass into the middle of the park, controlled by Sancho, can't find Fred or Weghorst, intercepted by Christensen, then his ball is slightly loose, but Koundé is there to collect it just in time. Lovely zipped pass from Busquets into the feet of Kessie, back to De Jong, who runs past the ball to dummy Fernandes, then just takes his time. He always seems to have so much time, and chips the ball out to the right to Koundé. Barcelona enjoying themselves at Old Trafford so far this evening. Rafinha looking to get in on the right. Good defending from Martinez for Manchester United. Lofted ball into the heart of midfield, chested down by Fred. Fred's ball finds Weghorst as the centre forward this evening. Now Fred looking to his right. Fernandes there really has to stretch to just keep that ball in play. Does so right under the nose of the Barcelona boss Xavi. Fred lets that pass go. Casemiro right behind him. He plays it back to Martinez. 24 minutes played. Manchester United 0, Barcelona 1. Barcelona leading through the Robert Lewandowski penalty and leading 3-2 on aggregate. Fernandes caught in possession, but he's fouled by Sergi Roberto. That'll be a Manchester United free kick. Xavi doesn't agree.
No, I don't think that was a foul, but I'll take it. Absolutely. So what Manchester United need now, they need just to keep the ball a little bit, not play this frantic game. It's not necessary now to go up and score. Just settle back a little bit, enjoy the ball, and just get back into this game, because at the moment it's Barcelona in control. If you thought that the absence of Pedri, Gavi, and Belé would be a big advantage for Manchester United, well, it isn't. They're playing really, really well at the moment, Barcelona.
Yes, good point to make. I'd forgotten to mention that again, that both Pedri and Gavi missing this evening. Gavi suspended after a yellow card in the first game. Pedri got injured just before half-time in that game. Fred looking for a first-time ball into the middle to find Weghorst. Intercepted. Christensen's there. Clears with his left foot. Lewandowski, nonchalant control, then goes down very theatrically, having been challenged by Lisandro Martinez. Lewandowski down holding his chest. He stays down, so the referee is going to stop the free kick, and Erik ten Hag, that has incensed him, and he's come out to the edge of the pitch to make his point to the referee. And I think both sets of players trying to influence the referee, because I don't think they feel that he's got it under total control at the moment.
It's where the difference in how you play in our respective countries. That's a physical challenge that we enjoy that in this country here, but in Spain you don't have that kind of physicality. Obviously when players feel that, they are going to jump a little bit. I think Lewandowski jumped and it wasn't a foul, and of course now Ten Hag is he's in trouble.
Well, Manchester United might get caught out by the free kick. The ball's played to Kessie. Martinez trying to get back there and sort it out. Shot from Roberto, hits Martinez on the floor, and that was a foul. So that's a free kick, Manchester United. Kessie eventually gave Martinez a shove, but I mean that was just a simple free kick down the left channel, and Kessie was almost away.
It's what I meant before. Manchester United to settle down a little bit. There's too much arguing. Bruno Fernandes I'm watching him now. He's still walking around being angry with himself or the referee. Or when that free kick was given away, Ten Hag was arguing with the referee, had a good talking to. And when the free kick was taken, none of the Man United players were aware that it was going to be taken. And it was a simple pass up the pitch to Kessie. And Martinez, he was quick. He read it. It was a good tackle. And, he just gave that free kick away before. Kessie did the same to him now, and the referee was fair enough to give it.
Barcelona with the advantage on the night, leading by a 1-0 here at Old Trafford. 2-2 from the first leg, so Barcelona 3-2 up overall, playing for a place in the last 16 of the Europa League. Lewandowski back inside his own half, can't keep the ball in play, has to be careful there, goes bobbling down that steep slope, which is only a couple of yards away from the touchline, and almost runs crash bang wallop into the pitch side monitor for the referee for the VAR calls if required. Ball back in play. Martinez looking for the long ball forward. Rashford will chase, but it's straight into the arms of Ter Stegen, coming up to 28 minutes played in the first half, and Ter Stegen just rolls it out to Araujo. Weghorst comes chasing. Ter Stegen, little lofted ball to his left. Balde under pressure from Fernandes. De Jong holds off Fred. He's fouled by Fred. Free kick Barcelona. Gets up, tries to take it quickly. Fred blocks it again. Referee blows the whistle, and it's all a little bit stop-start.
Yeah, I would really like Manchester United to just take it easy a little bit. Just, pass the ball backwards a few times. Get the ball rolling inside of the team, and not so desperately try to create something, because it's a bit messy at the moment.
Yeah. Here's De Gea, first time clearance with his right foot, all in blue. The Manchester United goalkeeper, Busquets, heads it forward. Lewandowski can't control. Casemiro spies an opportunity to try and get Fernandes away. Bouncing ball, he volleys it 40 yards forward, but it's just wide of Fernandes.
Well, Ali, that's exactly what I mean. So he gets a ball, 25 yards inside of his own half, and straight away looks to do, to pass it to Bruno Fernandes. And if it comes off, he's clear. But we've tried that. We give the ball away all the time. So just calm it down a little bit. Start playing, get a little bit of confidence back in the team. That's what Man United needs to do now.
Bayer Leverkusen through on penalties. 3-2 winners away to Monaco tonight. They've won the shootout. They're through to the last 16. Here's Weghorst trying to win a corner for Manchester United down by the right. Kessie then makes a tackle on Fred after the ball came back to him, and Manchester United get a throw. Throw on the right, about 5 yards up from the corner flag. Fred gives it to Wan-Bissaka, who drops it. It bounces, picks it up, takes the throw. Fred's cross in. Ter Stegen read it early, comes out, double-fisted punch away. Casemiro off target with the pass. De Jong chases the ball forward from Barcelona. Martinez read it well for Manchester United. He's able to take control inside his own half, assess his options, and come back to David De Gea. De Gea takes one touch, then chips a ball down the left for Shaw. Shaw's challenged by Koundé. Koundé wins the header, throw-in for Manchester United.
Again, same thing. Casemiro wins the ball 25 yards from the Barcelona goal. Tries to do the perfect pass, loses the ball, and it could have been a dangerous situation. But well read by Martinez, who is at the moment the only one who's keeping a little bit of control.
Yeah. Balls with David De Gea again. We've now reached the half-hour mark in the first half. Manchester United 0, Barcelona 1. Bruno Fernandes with a slightly foolish tug on the arm of Alex Balde, who didn't need any further encouragement to go down in the penalty area. Won the penalty. Ten Hag applauds as Manchester United work the ball out to Martinez inside his own half, and Barcelona just back off him for the moment. Lewandowski closes in. Martinez finds Sancho looking for Luke Shaw wide on the left. Pass deflected. Koundé plays it forward. Manchester United have it again with Varane. Plays across the halfway line here to Wan-Bissaka, who immediately controls it and gives it back to Varane. Just tiptoes across the halfway line. Curls a little pass beyond Roberto into the path of Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka makes 20 yards forward down the right. Bruno Fernandes infield to Fred. Casemiro, little chip ball, looking for the run of Sancho. Busquets stretches, ball runs across the face of the Barcelona box. Koundé clears, it nearly bounces over the head of Varane, who really had to leap to win the header. Fernandes wins a second header, nods it to Martinez, who gives it back to Bruno Fernandes. And now Varane, just inside the Barcelona half, looks for Weghorst. Nice first touch from the big Dutchman. Tries to clip across into the penalty area, blocked by Christensen, who then makes a tackle on Weghorst, and the ball runs to Wan-Bissaka. Back to Varane, wide on the right for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes tries to switch play up, chips the ball into the centre circle. Martinez scurries forward and strokes his pass to Luke Shaw. And here's the main man, Marcus Rashford. What can he do with this? Wide on the left, goes for the early ball to Weghorst, and Weghorst can't catch that. It's through to Ter Stegen.
Yeah, a lot better now for Manchester United. Kept the ball for about a minute there, and just looks so much better when they do that. I'd like to see a little bit of a tactical change. At the moment, Sancho's playing in sort of like a number 10 role, and Weghorst is playing in number 9. And I don't think he's a number 9. I don't think he is. And he was more effective a week ago when he played in that sort of offensive midfield role. I'd like to see Marcus Rashford go up in that number 9 role. Put Sancho back on the left wing, and then let him challenge, and let Marcus Rashford give Christensen and a problem in the middle.
13 minutes remaining in the first half. Xavi just questions the eyesight of the assistant referee who's standing right next to him. He thought the ball had gone out for a Barcelona throw. Xavi came on at Old Trafford as an 18-year-old as a substitute when Peter Schmeichel was playing back in 1998. Played here in 2008 as well in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final that Manchester United won through the Paul Scholes goal that took them through to that final against Chelsea that they went on to win. So, throw in Barcelona, wide on the right, just inside the Manchester United half, and they lead Manchester United by a goal to nil. So Barcelona 3-2 up on aggregate. Kessie controls it rather awkwardly. Luke Shaw straight in behind Sergio Roberto, bumps into him, but the ball comes offshore and goes out for a throw into Barcelona.
Barcelona doing all the right things. They're frustrating Manchester United players, keeping the ball, taking their time on throw-ins, and literally frustrating players. And we talked about Bruno Fernandes being very, very frustrated. He's been that now for the best part of 35 minutes. Yeah, 13 wins out of 17 games since the World Cup for Manchester United. Just the one defeat at Arsenal. Frustration so far tonight. Counter-attack building. Bruno Fernandes really having to run hard to try and catch the pass from Sancho. De Jong has it covered for Barcelona. Plays back to his goalkeeper, Ter Stegen, who quickly sweeps the ball out to Araujo. I think that we've just got an example of why Ten Hag was chasing De Jong so hard over the summer. That was brilliant play by him. He was reading the situation. It was creating a very dangerous situation where Bruno could have been in, but he was just reading it so well, and it looked so easy.
De Jong very nearly gave the ball away. In fact, Rashford has won it back. What can Manchester United do with this? Twinkle toes from Rashford again. Bobbling pass into the feet of Wan-Bissaka, 35 yards out. Makes the run up to the edge of the box. Not quite sure what he wants to do with it. Cross comes in. Right through the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes there wide on the left, just outside the box. Back to Sancho. Sancho gets the shout from Casemiro. Plays it to his right. Wan-Bissaka tries to feed Fred. Edge of the box. Wan-Bissaka thought about letting fly with the left foot shot. Plays it to Sancho. Good ball, and then Fred's volley cross. Oh, very nearly dipped over the head of Ter Stegen and underneath the crossbar. Instead, it just gently bounces on the roof of the net and goes behind for a Barcelona goal kick.
Yeah, very good pass from Casemiro out to Fred. Fred was actually trying to cross the ball. He miskicked the ball. We haven't seen that from Fred ever before. Miskicked the ball, and it for a moment there, it looked like it was going in the top corner, but it just hit the top of the net.
Start of a huge 10 days, of course, for Manchester United. League Cup final on Sunday. Kick-off in that one less than 72 hours away now. 4:30. 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman coming live from Wembley on Sunday. So we'll have full commentary on that one. West Ham are here in the FA Cup 5th round next Wednesday, and then Manchester United at Anfield in the Premier League for a 5 Live commentary a week on Sunday with another 4:30 kickoff. But this is the one they're concentrating on at the moment. 1-0 down against Barcelona on the night. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Balde getting away from Wan-Bissaka, stuck to his task, slides in, gets a right boot on the ball, but it runs to Kessie, and it's opening up for Barcelona on the right. Rafinha, support from Koundé on the outside. Koundé looks up, goes for the early cross to the far post. Roberto is waiting, tries to control it on the volley. Fred makes the tackle, the ball just gets away from him. Balde is there, Balde falls over as Fred challenges from behind. He won't get a free kick. It'll be a throw-in for Manchester United, and Bruno Fernandes has already stolen about 10 yards, I'd say, and the referee has spotted it, and that will give more cause for Bruno Fernandes to grumble.
They look dangerous every time they go forward, Barcelona. Every time you feel like, whoa. So I'd say very, very important now not to concede a second goal before half-time. Man United needs to get in there, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, nice thing from Casemiro. He's just volleyed the ball away to the left, hoping Rashford would be there. He was. Rashford's on it, and he's running at Koundé. Shaw makes a run beyond him. Still Rashford. Good challenge on him from Araujo. Not going to get past that one. Rashford sat down for the moment. Just adjusts the shin pads, picks himself up, and here come Manchester United again. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. You obviously do feel if it's going to be anyone, it'll be Manchester United's number 10 if they're going to get back in it. Here's Martinez, ball out to the left, given away by Sancho. Barcelona have it just inside their own half. Lewandowski's layoff intercepted by Shaw. Sancho gets another chance for United. Rashford lets it go through his legs, and Weghorst not quite ready for that.
Weghorst is not really on the same wavelength, is he? I mean, we've now played nearly 40 minutes, and I've not seen him do anything that has helped the team in any way.
Varane has to go scurrying back into his own half to rescue a situation for Manchester United. They've got the ball though. Martinez to De Gea. De Gea quickly looks up and sees Luke Shaw in a bit of space on the left. Rashford now is through the middle at the moment. Jadon Sancho's wide left, and Weghorst is on the right. That's not a good ball forward from Casemiro. That's into space, but no one's there. Wan-Bissaka was never going to get there, and Balde plays it back to Ter Stegen. Here's Christensen, chased by Weghorst, arms pumping, charging towards Ter Stegen again. His pass out to the right, controlled by Koundé to Kessie. Kessie's first time ball forward, read and intercepted by Martinez. Looking for Sancho, didn't find him. Lewandowski on the ball in the centre circle, the goal scorer tonight from the penalty spot. Balde plays a little 1-2 with Sergi Roberto, and Barcelona will just slow it down and calm it down.
Yeah, they don't need to do anything until half-time. They just keep the ball, pass it around, frustrate the Manchester United players, let them chase it, let them use our valuable energy, and they've got the qualities to do that.
Here's Kessie. Kessie's knocked the ball past Bruno Fernandes and been able to collect it the other side, running across the halfway line, has played a nice curling pass out to the right. If Koundé can keep it in, he can. Luke Shaw comes across to try and block, but it's Rafinha who's going to play the 1-2, and then Rafinha hits one of those vicious first timers, well off target, but just gave it a go, bought a ticket and gave it the hammer. Yeah,
but I've said this before, Manchester United need to work harder. So at the moment it's too easy for Barcelona to move the ball around, and it's too easy for Rafinha, even though this was a wild shot, it was too easy for him to get this opportunity. And when you look at the pitch, you see players walking back. That's not how Man United's been playing all season.
Ball for Weghorst to chase. De Jong again does the defensive work for Barcelona. Plays it across his penalty area to Ter Stegen. Weghorst still running. Ter Stegen plays the ball away. Kessie is fouled apparently by Wan-Bissaka.
Now he gives those free kicks. That wasn't a free kick. It was really a weird one.
Free kick Barcelona just inside their own half. In terms of the football coming your way on Saturday, 3 o'clock commentary with goals as they go in up and down the country. Your 3 o'clock base, there will be Leicester against Arsenal. Six Nations is back at the weekend, so after Leicester-Arsenal, the rugby will be on 5 Live. The Wales-England game, which does go ahead in Cardiff, kicks off at 4:45. Bournemouth against Manchester City kicks off at 5:30. Commentary of that one will start on Sports Extra. It will then switch to 5 Live after the rugby, and all of that will be followed by 6:06 on Saturday night. And if you missed any of the start of 5 Live Sport this evening, as Luke Shaw heads the ball away, it's chested down by Sergi Roberto. Difficult one for him to control, but just sort of got it off his knee to Balde. Balde back to De Jong. Gets away from Bruno Fernandes. Little ball to his right to Rafinha. Lewandowski with his back to goal on the edge of the penalty area. Moves away from Martinez and plays it wide to Koundé. Koundé's got Marcus Rashford right in front of him, so he's had to go back to Busquets. Still inside the Manchester United half. De Jong so clever at that. Just uses his body. Doesn't even touch the ball to throw off the defender. Sergi Roberto pops up in space 25 yards from goal. Kessie moves it on quickly to Balde on the left. Bruno Fernandes goes chasing. Here's Sergi Roberto looking for Lewandowski. Balde still involved. Little ball into the feet of Lewandowski. United got to be careful here. Outside of his right boot from the pole. Out to Koundé. Koundé's cross into the box. Wan-Bissaka heads it away. Weghorst needs to be sure with his control there. He's lost it. Very close to the edge of the Manchester United penalty area, and then Weghorst desperate to win it back. He's hauled Kessie to the floor. Barcelona get a free kick.
Again, silly foul to give away. I have to be honest, I really think that Weghorst is the weakest link here. There's no contribution whatsoever for him. For a striker, he's used to receiving the ball with somebody behind him, putting pressure on him physically. He just lost the ball, gave it away, 10 yards outside of the box. Then he's trying to win it back and gives a foul away. He's even complaining that it's not a foul. It's a blatant foul. I'm just watching it now. I have to say I'm really not sure why he's getting so much playing time. And it's a big question mark now for Ten Hag. What's he going to do at half-time?
Yeah.
Get in at 1-0. That would be good. Get in, make the changes, and then come out for the second half with a completely new setup, if you like.
Free kick for Barcelona as David De Gea looks out from his goal. It's wide of his right hand post, almost level with the corner of the box. De Jong kills it into the far post. Little flick header from Casemiro. Had to jump, had to get a touch, and it's come off his head and it's gone behind for a Barcelona corner. Late in the first half, Barcelona leading 1-0 from the penalty, 3-2 on aggregate.
And now they need to concentrate in the Manchester United defence. Conceded a goal in Barcelona from a corner kick. Alonso popping up at the back stick. They cannot allow that to happen now, and especially not with a couple of minutes left of the half. Concentration is key now.
Corner taken short to De Jong. Gives it back here to Rafinha. Rafinha zips a low pass across the Old Trafford turf to Balde. Balde runs to the left. Ball into the edge of the box. Fernandes stoops and heads the bouncing ball away. Araujo just scoops it straight up in the air. Varane gets up to win the header. It falls to Fred, who's going to try and bring the ball away from Manchester United. Plays into midfield. Old Trafford shouts man on to Jadon Sancho. He didn't hear them and he got tackled, and then the ball is played out from the back and Sancho will chase, but Busquets will get there way before him. And as we approach the last minute of the first half, there might just be a little bit of added time as well. There was an early threat from Manchester United right at the start of the game. Bruno Fernandes had a great chance when he got in on the right, but since then he's had the one volleyed effort, and Barcelona, other than that, have been pretty comfortable.
Yeah, they're in full control of this game, and of course from a Manchester United point of view it's disappointing, but Ten Hag, he's been in this situation before with the team and he's made changes that no one else has seen. I'm very interested to see what he's going to do. He's got to do something. You can't not do anything.
Ball forward from Christensen, and Manchester United can just let that go, and behind it goes for a goal kick. Yes, he sprung the surprise at the start of the first leg with Marcus Rashford playing through the middle and Weghorst sort of in that number 10 role. Right at the end of this first half, now we've got Rashford wide on the right, Weghorst through the middle, and Jadon Sancho wide on the left.
It's been three players has been warming up frantically here in the... God.
Given away at the back by Manchester United. Sergi Roberto sliding challenge on him. Kessie shoots. It's another block. Luke Shaw's got to get in there, and Luke Shaw is fouled. Kessie's desperation to get to the ball. He caught Shaw. He picked Shaw up from the floor and shakes his hand. But Manchester United very nearly threw away the entire tie with some sloppiness right before half-time.
David De Gea got the ball, trying to pass it out through the middle, and literally gave the ball. I mean, we see it here in a replay. Martinez passes it back. He's trying to put it back. I mean, my God, what is he? Straight to Kessie.
Free kick given against Manchester United.
He passed it straight out to Kessie. He was on the edge of the box. I mean, it's really, really good defending by Wan-Bissaka, who read the danger. And then again Luke Shaw, but my God, that could have been the end of it.
Yeah, it could have been. lucky escape. Barcelona leading 1-0 on the night, 3-2 overall. Xavi is hollering some instructions to his centre-back Araujo. He's saying, have you seen, by the way, Balde's in loads of space here on the left, and Araujo ignores his manager and just plays the ball right down the middle. Might work. Lewandowski finds Kessie inside the penalty area. Cross hits Martinez. Kessie gets another go. Last touch came off him, and behind it goes for the goal kick. So we've got about a minute to play. Steve Crossman back with you after that, as I was just saying, as Barcelona were building one of their attacking moves. If you missed the start of the show tonight, there will be an entire podcast on the BBC Sounds app dedicated to the late John Motson. There have been some wonderful tributes paid to the former BBC commentator today, so if you missed any of that, make sure you make your way to the BBC Sounds app. Football Daily podcast will be there for you always, and a bonus tribute to John Motson, which will be well worth a listen. Ter Stegen picks the ball up, about 15 seconds to go, like a basketball player just bouncing the ball towards the edge of his penalty area. Erik ten Hag with plenty of thinking to do, as Ter Stegen lofts it downfield. It's headed away. The half-time whistle blows, and Manchester United, as it stands, are heading out of the Europa League in this playoff round. That is because Bruno Fernandes tugged Alex Balde down in the first half, conceded the penalty. David De Gea very nearly saved it, but it went in off the post from his hand. Barcelona have a 1-0 lead. Big job, Peter Schmeichel, for Manchester United and Erik ten Hag here at half-time.
Yeah, absolutely big job. It hasn't been great. I think some of that has been the lack of concentration. And you can understand, the fixture compression that they're going through at the moment. They're playing so many games, and maybe a little bit of mental fatigue is setting in. But then you cannot use that as an excuse, because it is a European Cup tie against Barcelona. You've got to be up for it. So one thing is that. Another thing, of course, is that Barcelona, they are playing quite well.
Yes, they are. They lead by a goal to nil. I think you can probably hear, Steve, what the Manchester United fans think of the referee and his assistants so far this evening. But the crucial moment, and the penalty from Lewandowski, and that is why Barcelona lead 1-0 on the night, 3-2 overall. So Manchester United with work to do, trailing 1-0 on the night against their great rivals Barcelona. Robert Lewandowski's penalty, 2-2 in the first leg, so Barcelona leading the tie 3-2 overall. And as Steve quite rightly pointed out and spotted, Anthony out early ahead of the rest of the team in his Manchester United kit, warming up at half-time. And Peter Schmeichel, the right change for you, I think. Wout Weghorst has been removed, and Anthony, who's missed the last 4 games for Manchester United, is out there and is going to try and help us turn this around. Yeah,
it was a natural change to make, and of course Anthony is now on the right hand side, and Rashford's gone in that number 9 position with Fernandes right behind him. That's what we talked about that during the first half, and of course Sancho on the left now. So hopefully that's going to make a difference, because now we play with 10.
Casemiro, 10 outfield players, exactly, yes. Martinez on the ball for Manchester United inside his own half. Really had to pick a perfect one there to find Luke Shaw, which he did. Shaw couldn't control it, and then a loose one from Busquets is beyond Rafinha, who's going to patrol the right flank in front of us in this second half for Barcelona. They're all in gold tonight. They're playing from left to right, so defending the goal in front of the Stretford end away to our left, and Manchester United with Bruno Fernandes looking for Fred. Finds Fred, who shoots and scores right at the start of the second half. Well, how about that? Bruno Fernandes wasn't having the best of nights before then. Picked the perfect pass. It fell to Fred. It was a great first touch. He's rifled it into the bottom corner. 1-1 on the night. 3-3 overall.
Exactly what this Old Trafford needed. A goal early on in the second half. We've got a game on our hands now. Very, very well played by Bruno Fernandes. Spotted Fred, who made a run, received the ball on the 18-yard line. Good touch. And it was onto his right foot, his wicker foot, but he still managed to put the ball in the bottom left corner. And it's now 1-1. And Fred, who I think has played very well today, scored.
He's got nigh on 80,000 people on their feet roaring his name at the moment. He's the last back to the halfway line. I'm guessing probably his favourite goal he's ever scored for Manchester United. Massive one at the start of the second half. BBC Radio 5 Live, BBC Sounds, and our listeners on BBC Radio Manchester tonight. Strap in, here we go. 1-1 on the night, 3-3 overall. Barcelona been knocked out of their stride. They've given the ball away. Rashford can't control it. Back it comes to Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen just knocks a little ball out to Koundé down the right. Not even had time to get through the team news at the start of this second half, but goodness me, the atmosphere has ramped up as well. Barcelona attacking down the right. Kessi's trying to keep the ball in play, just knocked it over Martinez, who slid in and made the challenge. Kessi couldn't keep up with it, and it's gone out for a throw into Manchester United. You can barely hear yourself think at the moment.
Just going back to the goal, it wasn't a clean strike by Fred. He had to kind of rolled off the bottom of his shin onto his foot. But when you're up against one of the best goalkeepers in the world, playing really well tonight, it's that's how you score, because he's got to wait for that shot to come off before he can make any moves. He couldn't read anything into it beforehand. And me for one, I don't really care. I'm absolutely ecstatic about this goal. And we've got a game on our hands now.
Peter Schmeichel knows all about playing on the big European nights for Manchester United. Anthony, the substitute, getting away from Christensen. Chests the ball down. Christensen sticks a leg out and blocks it and knocks it behind for a corner. Took a risk there because Anthony was about to pull the trigger and shoot. Now Anthony's making the point to the referee, but Christensen must have got the touch there. I thought he did, and it had gone behind for a corner. Maybe it came off Anthony's boot as they both stretched for the ball.
Yeah, it was a great pass by Casemiro. He dropped deep and then passed it over the top for Anthony to run it. No, sorry, it was Varane. So it's a 1-1. Anthony's actually ahead of Christensen, and we see now.
Right, Anthony's gone down. He's won Manchester United a free kick wide on the right inside the Barcelona half. He's had a really bright start since coming onto the field. We've only played 4 minutes of this second half, and the Manchester United fans there basically, Peter, just applauding his application, just the backline qualities to win the free kick.
And it's little things like that. Of course, the goal helps a lot.
Oh, they've taken the free kick quickly. Here's Rashford inside the penalty area. Angles tight. First shot is blocked. Rashford again, right down by the byline, twisting and turning, looking for a pass, and he comes out to the right to Fernandes. The offside flag is up, so Barcelona will have a chance to clear their lines. You know what? I think it's going to be one of those second halves, Peter.
Yeah. And the most important thing now is to keep it going for Manchester United. Not only on the pitch, but keep it going on the terraces as well. Keep this atmosphere up, because it helps the team. It does help Manchester United. There's no doubt about that. I'm not sure it's going to scare Barcelona too much, but to play in that atmosphere, it's brilliant. You feel that you're not alone. You feel that you're doing something right, and it spurs you on.
7th time in UEFA competition between these two in knockout football. 3 wins apiece. Winner takes all tonight. 1-1 on the night. 3-3 on aggregate. Manchester United with David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez and Shaw back 4, Casemiro and Fred the midfield shield. Fred the goal scorer tonight. Wout Weghorst replaced at half-time by Anthony back from injury, wide on the right, Sancho out on the left, Bruno Fernandes in the number 10 role, and Marcus Rashford playing through the middle. Barcelona's team coming your way in just a second. Fred on the ball just outside his own penalty area, has time to get his head up, finds Casemiro, onto Wan-Bissaka. Anthony's making a great run, and Wan-Bissaka's just released that a little bit too late. The pass takes a deflection, it does find Anthony, but Anthony now has Balde right behind him, and Manchester United have to play back into their own half.
It's amazing to see how the threat of Anthony has gotten the Barcelona team thinking. They are very, very careful when around him. And that, of course, is giving opportunities other places on the pitch, and that's what Manchester United now needs to take advantage of. And I'm quite happy that Fernandes, or the Portuguese guy, now is in that number 10 role, because it gives him a lot of freedom, a lot of space to distribute passes out to Rashford, to Sancho, and of course also to Anthony.
Peter Schmeichel said Erik ten Hag had to change it at half-time. He has changed it. It's made a massive difference. The ball's with David De Gea. Barcelona with Ter Stegen in goal. Koundé, Araujo, Christensen and Balde is their back four. Busquets with Kessi and De Jong either side. Rafinha and Sergi Roberto in support of Robert Lewandowski. Here's Rashford, he's got the fans on their feet, he's overrun it, he's got lucky, the ball's bounced back to him, speed again, and then he tries to hit the shot from the byline. He'll try it from anywhere at the moment, he's miscued that one, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. I said it last week, he is electric at the moment.
Yeah, and you would say something, pass the ball, don't have the shot. But the form that he's in at the moment, the way the balls are going in the back of the net, and just think back to that goal in Barcelona, you think pass the ball, make the cross, but he's taking the chance and it goes in, and he should be doing that every game. Just whenever he sees the goal, just have a shot.
Barcelona properly rattled. Araujo's just played it straight to Casemiro. He's found Anthony, back to Casemiro, 20 yards from goal, tries to hit the shot. Good challenge on him by Busquets, who's in the right place at the right time. Rafinha.
Yeah, it was a shame he didn't see Bruno. Bruno was free on the right hand side. He's trying to sort of take it back.
Oh, that's clever from Roberto.
And played through the middle, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right, Peter. Delayed his pass and played it through the legs of Fred. Blink and you'll miss it at the moment. It's flying around at Old Trafford. Here's De Jong. So Barcelona have had a really shaky start to this second half. Manchester United are back in the tie. Could be extra time. Could be penalties tonight as well. Here's Rafinha. Controls it on his thigh, wide on the right. Ducks in field. Quick pass to Roberto. Poor ball back. Bruno Fernandes onto it for Manchester United. Sancho's on his bike down the left. Casemiro, having received it from Rashford, pokes it with the outside of his right boot. Finds Sancho. Sancho's one-on-one against Koundé. Koundé sticks a leg out, makes the tackle. Manchester United get the throw on the left.
Good challenge by Sancho, but very well defended. When you talk about penalty, we don't want penalties. There's too many games, too many important games coming up in the next 9 days. And it's already been midweek, weekend, midweek. So, if you're into extra time today, and then you have to play that final on Sunday.
That's right, Peter. If you're of a Newcastle United persuasion, then that is exactly what you want this evening. If you support Manchester United, then obviously not. League Cup final in full, live from Wembley. 4:30 kick-off on Sunday. We've also got Tottenham-Chelsea in the Premier League at 1:30. It's also Rangers-Celtic in the Scottish League Cup final on Sunday. France-Scotland in the Six Nations as well. So Sunday's 5 Live Sport is going to be a cracking listen, as is this evening. Free kick Manchester United. Luke Shaw curls it into the edge of the area. Headed away only as far as Anthony. Left-footed effort. Ter Stegen just plucks it out of the sky like he was wandering through an orchard and just plucking an apple off a tree branch.
Very optimistic attempt by Anthony there, trying to, without any run up to the ball, trying to side foot the ball from 25 yards on one of the best goalkeepers in the world. That's not going to happen.
Don't try. 1-1 in the second half here at Old Trafford. Varane on the ball for Manchester United in those big bright orange boots, looking for the run of Rashford. Pass just beyond him. Rashford chases, it bounces once, and Ter Stegen collects.
So, Ellie, we talked about, in games like this, you need to have control. It doesn't matter about the percentage of possession, but that you control the game. And there's no doubt that Ten Hag has had a big team talk at half-time. He said, you've got to go out there and take control of the game. And so far, Manchester United, the players have done just that.
Attacking threat from Barcelona is halted. Balde just let the ball run over the touchline as he tried to get away down the left. That'll be a throw-in for United in their right-back position. So 10 minutes gone, second half. By the way, in the other 8 o'clock kickoffs in the Europa League playoff round this evening, Union Berlin 3-1 up against Ajax, 0-0 from the first leg. So Union Berlin obviously lead the tie 3-1 on aggregate. Rennes 1, Shakhtar 0, 2-2 on aggregate. And Roma, having lost the first game against Red Bull Salzburg, are now 2-0 up in the Stadio Olimpico. So Roma leading 2-1 on aggregate, and not too far away to our left-hand side. I've just seen him picked out by the cameras. Peter's former manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, who knows all about battles with Barcelona on the big nights at Old Trafford, enjoying this one as he did in the Nou Camp last week. And we're level pegging. Bruno Fernandes has dropped deep for Manchester United inside his own half. It's played back to Martinez, the short, stocky Argentine centre-back, number 6 on his back in white, on the back of his red shirt, just hits the pass back to De Gea. De Gea takes his time, couple of touches. There's Lewandowski, just starts to put him under pressure. De Gea floats it away. Sancho jumps to win the header, but actually heads it into the arms of Erik ten Hag, the manager, throwing for Barcelona.
It's much better now when Bruno is in that number 10 position. Since Eriksen has been injured, that partnership with Eriksen and Casemiro has been very good, very effective, and it's given Bruno a different role. But with Eriksen out injured, you need that kind of person in the middle of the park. And Fred is not that person, I have to say. Weghorst is not that person. But Bruno is controlling the game now.
Balde, good pace down the left for Barcelona. Wan-Bissaka trying to stick with him. corner of Manchester United's penalty area. Cross comes in high and deep towards Lewandowski, tries to get away from Martinez. Martinez won it. Sancho thought he might have been fouled on the edge of the box. Fred's battling for the ball, he's done really well. Gets it back from Rashford, and Fred is on his way down the left. Araujo and Koundé trying to stop him. Still Fred holds onto it, knocks it past Araujo. Rashford read it brilliantly, speeds onto it, into the box, across the face of goal it goes. Frankie de Jong is back there, clears with his right foot, but the danger not clear for Barcelona just yet, because here's Fred again to Casemiro. Casemiro's chip ball into the box, doesn't find Fred, who made the run, and Busquets, how cool was that, controlling it under pressure, knocks it past Fernandes. Barcelona give it away, and Xavi turns and screams to the night sky, so frustrated with his team losing the ball. Antony across the edge of the box, Wan-Bissaka tries to control it, couldn't quite do so, and here's De Jong for Barcelona, gets a shove from Wan-Bissaka and does win a free kick, and suddenly it's kicking off, and Barcelona don't like what Bruno Fernandes has apparently done in there, and all of a sudden all the outfield players are in a massive huddle, pushing and shoving. Referee has stepped in to try and sort it out. Frankie de Jong was on the floor, having gone down in the challenge. Maybe Fernandes caught him as he was down.
No, what happened was that Frankie de Jong went down. The free kick was given, but the ball was loose, and Bruno Fernandes actually kicked the ball while Frankie de Jong was on the ground, and it was nearly a tackle to his midriff. It was, for me, out of order by Bruno Fernandes, but I'm not sure that he'd heard the whistle by then, and he's now claiming his innocence. He's going to be booked for this.
That's what he's saying. He's pointing to his ear and saying to the Barcelona players, I just didn't hear the whistle. He is never far from it, is he, Bruno Fernandes? The assist for the goal tonight. Great chance missed in the early stages of the game. Gave away the penalty, gets the yellow card, and then goes absolutely berserk at the referee.
I think Antony got booked as well. Yeah. It's a foul committed by Wan-Bissaka, and the ball gets loose to Bruno Fernandes, and he hits it right in the middle of De Jong.
He's in the process there, Peter, of being about to smash that ball, and on the replay we can't see exactly when the whistle was blown. The Barcelona players obviously felt it was out of order.
It did look out of order.
Right. Okay. Well, you would know. You would know far better than me, given your experience. Ball played wide on the left to Balde. Balde's cross in is beyond Lewandowski through the Manchester United box. It goes. Koundé doing his best to get their United fans raw, because he can't, and that'll be a throw in for Manchester United in their left back position. So Bruno Fernandes on the yellow card. The game is on the edge.
You know what, Ali? The only thing about putting Bruno in that number 10 position is that he's right next to the referee all the time, and he's literally complaining to him every time he's near him, and he's just done it, and the referee's just lifted a finger and said, "You've already been booked, be careful now." And it's like he's still upset about that penalty he gave away.
Here he is. Will it inspire him to greater deeds on the football field? Lovely pass out to Antony. Antony running at Balde, almost left the ball behind, losing his balance, but knocks it back to Fred. Fred back to Casemiro, midway inside the Barcelona half an hour to play, and these two can't be separated. Sancho trying to win a header on the edge of the box. It comes off his head, but Balde's there first. Balde closed down by Sancho, just clatters the ball downfield. Fernandes onto the header forward. It's loose around the edge of the Barcelona penalty area. Christensen plays a quick 1-2 with Busquets, back to Ter Stegen, and Ter Stegen just opens it up for Barcelona, and away they come down the right-hand side. 5 Live, BBC Sounds app, BBC Radio Manchester tonight. Listening to this one at Old Trafford. Rafinha, little ball down to the byline. Kessie won't catch that. Goal kick, Manchester United.
Xavi's not too happy about that. He reacted. It was a good opportunity for Barcelona. Again, they're taking advantage of a few players not doing the hard work they're supposed to do in the Manchester United team, putting players under pressure. The goalkeeper got the ball. It was Fred, a midfield player, putting pressure on him.
Brilliant incisive passing here from Manchester United. Varane out wide to Antony. Antony on the right. Rashford making the run in the middle. Antony decides to shoot. Maybe not his best option. It was blocked, and Balde is able to get to the rebound. That was just like red lightning flying down the field from Manchester United. Fred in with the challenge, and he's now conceded the free kick.
One of the things that the team has done really, really well in this season is the counter-attack. It's exciting, exhilarating, gets a crowd going. when the ball gets to Anthony, I think he holds on to it a little bit too long, and I think he's still a player that needs to convince most people that he is that good. He comes with a great reputation, but he's not really consistently shown that.
Shaw looking for Sancho down the left, couldn't find him. Roberto into the feet of Rafinha. Lewandowski starting to make a run. Danger for Manchester United here. What a tackle by Lisandro Martinez on Rafinha. Rafinha's trying to win it back. United double up on him. Now Casemiro's ball through to Rashford's beyond Rashford, and Ter Stegen is able to pick it up just on the edge of his area.
Great defending by Martinez, helped out by Fred. Both of them are having really good games. The ball fell for Casemiro, who tried to put Rashford in a little bit too much power on the ball.
Well, this game is absolutely wide open. Here come Barcelona again. Balde on the left-hand side. Anthony's back there trying to do the defending. Balde plays it back to the corner of the box. There's Rafinha, who's now on the left. Koundé is the widest right for Barcelona and could attack a far post cross if it comes. De Jong looks up. Here it comes. Koundé runs for it, heads it, and De Gea tips it over the bar. Had to be sharp. Corner for Barcelona.
What a great run by Koundé, but what a great spot by De Jong. And it was a clear header. It was a fantastic save by David De Gea, keeping his team in the game. 1-1 still.
Manchester United 1, Barcelona 1. That the voice of Peter Schmeichel here at Old Trafford. 3-3 on aggregate. Extra time if they're level after 90. Possibility of penalties as well. That one was creeping in, wasn't it, Peter?
Yeah, it was. It was a really good save. And also, it didn't come off cleanly. It came off his shoulder, so he couldn't have read it really, so he had to react to it.
Corner into the near post, headed away by Fernandes. Barcelona recycle. De Jong just floats a diagonal into the Manchester United area. Tall figure of Varane heads it away. Kessie hits one through a crowd of bodies right at De Gea, and De Gea gets his body behind it and makes the save.
Well, De Gea makes a very comfortable save there. He wants to restart very quickly, but there was no takers. Everybody was, they just turned their back to him. So don't do it.
Second half livelier than the first, definitely. Manchester United playing more of a part in this game in the second half. Here's Martinez looking for Sancho. He stretches, can't quite control it, then gets a block on Koundé's pass, and it goes out for a throw-in to Manchester United, who might be about to make a couple of changes here.
It looks like Dalot and Garnacho's coming on.
Dalot and Garnacho, yeah.
Garnacho has I think he's had his head dipped in a bucket of bleach.
That's why I didn't recognise him.
Yeah, I've been looking at him like, who is that blonde guy?
Yeah, exactly, looking for Balde and Anthony. That's a valuable bit of defending. I don't know who got the last touch, but he was there to put Balde off as he was trying to get onto that pass on the edge of the box. Could go any which way this game at the moment. So Dalot is stripped off and ready to go. Garnacho's had the final instructions. It was Anthony who came on at half-time, so Erik ten Hag, the one who's making the early changes here for Manchester United, and of course they've got that League Cup final coming on Sunday. Throw-in for United, just inside the Barcelona half, wide on the right. Slight stoppage in play because Andreas Christensen is bowed over, sort of hands on knees, and has taken a bit of a blow. Time for the change for the Manchester United team, so chance for me just to give this podcast a little plug. I know we're doing it all the time on the BBC Sounds app, but this one particularly for you Manchester United fans out there, but other football fans as well. First episode of a new pod out on Monday called How to Buy a Football Club, all about the goings on around the sale of Manchester United at the moment. BBC Breakfast, Sally Nugent, and BBC Sports Simon Stone, who both spent years covering the club, are joined on every episode by a lifelong fan who happens to be the BBC's business and economics editor Faisal Islam, to keep you right up to date with the battle to buy one of the biggest clubs in the world. How to Buy a Football Club. First episode on BBC Sounds tomorrow. Did it just in time. They've made the double change. We're ready to go again.
Yeah. So Van Bissaka's come off for Dalot. I think what Ten Hag is seeing there is he needs a little bit of more play, more football on the right hand side. There is an opportunity there. And then Sancho has come off for Garnacho, who is unrecognisable with that blonde hair. And I just wonder, when you have a fixture list as compressed as Manchester United have it now, when do you find time to stick your head in that bucket of bleach?
Peter, not everyone is as lucky as you to have beautiful, bright blonde, natural blonde hair. So that's why some players have to do that. Fernandes to Rashford. Back to Fernandes. Manchester United on the move. Dalot speeding on the outside. Here's Anthony. Anthony plays it to Dalot. Dalot with a little step over. Half blocked. Ball loose inside the Barcelona penalty area. De Jong sticks out a leg, clears it only so far. Casemiro side foots it back to Martinez. We're midway through this second half already. 1-1 on the night, 3-3 overall. Here's Bruno Fernandes standing still, curling ball to the far post beyond Fred. Here's Garnacho waiting for that one.
Listen to the crowd now.
Yeah, they're
Listen
up
to this.
on their feet. Look, it's actually gone silent as Garnacho. They're holding their breath as Garnacho makes his run. Gives it to Fred. Fred's cross in and Ter Stegen stretches and catches it with both hands.
Because they don't recognise him. That's what it is. So what we're seeing now is pretty much what we saw in the first half. Only that it was Barcelona having that spell.
Yeah.
So at the moment Barcelona are having a tough time getting out of their own half, and it's brilliant to see Man United winning the ball back so quickly.
Koundé down the right to Rafinha. First time ball finds Lewandowski on the halfway line in the inside right channel. Immediately hits the diagonal looking for Balde. Balde had set off expecting that pass. Tries to control it. Ooh, nips his way past Dalot almost. Dalot just sticks out a right leg to clear the ball. Anthony has it inside his own half wide on the right. Two Barcelona players for company, and he's done well for Manchester United there by winning the throw-in. I think knocking that ball off the legs of Frankie de Jong. So 1-1. Xavi thinking about a change. Ferran Torres, former Manchester City man, he's going to get a run out at the ground of his former Manchester rivals. Back to De Gea. De Gea clears with his right foot. Blonde bombshell Garnacho lets it go right underneath his boot, and it's out for a throw to Barcelona. Koundé gets ready to take. Here comes Ferran Torres. But I think Barcelona are going to take the throw before they make the change. They do. Into the feet of Roberto. He couldn't quite bring that under control, which allowed Casemiro to have a little nibble. It's back now with Araujo. Araujo to Christensen. Bruno Fernandes comes hurtling towards him, then continues the chase towards Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen clears. Shaw jumps to win a header. Martinez leans in to try and win a header and nearly got clattered by Kessie, and eventually it's cleared by Casemiro. Throw in Barcelona. So Sergio Roberto. Peter, yeah, Roberto off and Ferran Torres.
So it's just a like-for-like substitution, no tactical change for Xavi, which you wouldn't expect him to do that, because they have their way of playing football. It's just a fresh pair of legs, different dynamics. Ooh, that's a nasty foul on Casemiro.
Both players down, Casemiro and Lewandowski. It came from the throw from the immediate restart. The referees stopped the game, and Casemiro really does seem in some pain.
Lewandowski's going to be booked now. We're just waiting for the replay. It looked a little bit nasty from up here. Now we see it in the replay.
Lewandowski's turning.
Oh, I see. Oh, VAR could have a look at that, because that is a foot over the ball, straight onto Casemiro's leg, and he's still down, by the way.
Lewandowski,
it's a bit nasty, that.
Sort of put his foot on the ball, slipped off the ball, and came over the top of the ball, as you say, Peter, right down onto Casemiro, who's in some pain. Lewandowski, I think, sort of trying to avoid censure, has stayed down himself.
That was a nasty one. I have to say that was one of them calculated nasty ones where you're going to go over the ball and you're going to hit the player, and it's out of character. Look at this here now. You see that? So he gets on top of the ball, but he carry on his movement. He knows that his foot, and then he's trying to play that he's injured, or pretend that he's injured.
I saw the yellow card in the referee's hand.
Well, he's given it.
It was given, yeah. Lewandowski gets a yellow card for the challenge.
I think that VAR should have a second look on this and maybe send the referee to the screen, because that was a nasty one, that one.
Casemiro, thankfully for Manchester United, is okay, just trying to walk it off at the moment, slowly across the halfway line.
And is the captain is arguing with the referee again about it. And he's got to be very, very careful, because this referee, if he gets annoyed, he can give another yellow card.
So Fernandes booked for Manchester United, Lewandowski booked for that challenge. The video assistant referee will have seen it, but it didn't go to review, so the yellow card decision stands. It remains 1-1.
I think that's his reputation, Lewandowski's reputation, that he's not that kind of player. That's why he gets away with it. And in a way, that's fine. but it was a horrible tackle, I think.
Oh, clever back heel from Shaw. Fernandes uses his strength to keep the ball for Manchester United. Plays it back to Garnacho, who shoots, it's blocked. Comes back to Fred, hits it, and back to Anthony, who finds the bottom corner. Manchester United from 1-0 down are 2-1 up and could be on the way to beating Barcelona and knocking them out of the Europa League. Substitute Anthony with such a sweet strike. Manchester United 2, Barcelona 1. It's 4-3 on aggregate.
This goal is all about the cleverness of Luke Shaw, who's chasing a ball down towards the corner flag, back heels it to Bruno Fernandes, who then puts Garnacho in. His shot's blocked, Fred's shot's blocked. It ends up with Anthony, who puts the ball from the left-hand side, a flat shot towards the right-hand post, and it goes in. And Man United are now 2-1 up in this side and on its way to the next stage of this competition.
Big roar as Anthony's name is announced as the goal scorer. Sir Alex Ferguson, did you see his reaction as well?
Brilliant reaction by Sir Alex.
Like he was on the touchline back in the day. He's enjoying it. All the Manchester United fans are enjoying it. As you say, Peter, Bruno Fernandes did brilliantly to fashion that chance.
Luke Shaw gets a back heel to Bruno Fernandes, who battles Rafinha for the ball. Clever pass to Garnacho, who misses. Fred tries a shot, not a good one, and then it ends up with Anthony, who actually places the ball on his left inside foot with a bit of power down towards the right hand post, and no chance for the goalkeeper. What a great goal, and I have to again just mention Luke Shaw in this. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant by him.
Manchester United's last win against Barcelona in 2008, Sir Alex Ferguson's team that went on to win the Champions League. It was a Paul Scholes goal in this stadium that won the game 1-0 and took them through 1-0 on aggregate after a 0-0 in the first leg at the Nou Camp. But now, just over 15 minutes away from another famous win over Barcelona.
And I think we get to see what this Manchester United team is made of, because Manchester United traditionally will carry on, go for the third goal. Can they do that? I mean, they've got the players on the pitch to do it. They've got all the attacking players. Don't really have players who can sit back and defend this, as Barcelona is making a very predictable change.
Yeah, Ansu Fati is coming on the field. Rafinha is coming off. Ferran Torres is coming over to the right-hand side. Ansu Fati will play wide on the left. Lewandowski still through the middle. So Peter Schmeichel enjoying the action alongside us. We're on through until 10:30 this evening. Anything you miss in that Football Daily podcast via the BBC Sounds app for you tomorrow morning. Barcelona really going to have to go for it now, because as it stands, they are heading out. They are losing 2-1 on the night and 4-3 overall. Manchester United win a throw.
And just listen to the crowd. This comes of Marcus Rashford just chasing, a lost cause and actually winning a throw-in from there. It gets the crowd going. Of course, the 2-1 lead is a natural thing to get the crowd going, but it's so important that they keep them on their toes for the rest of this game.
Old Trafford absolutely bouncing right now. Shaw takes the throw. Down by the byline is Bruno Fernandes. Just toe pokes the ball into Araujo. Araujo makes a challenge on Fernandes. Manchester United get another throw. Just running the clock down, keeping the ball, keeping possession deep in Barcelona territory.
It's a long time to run the clock down, though.
Yeah, it is.
15 minutes.
Shaw's throw into the feet of Rashford. Rashford will be thinking about a goal, considering the form he's in. Araujo trying to keep it on the byline, tripped by Fernandes, and wins the free kick. 16 goals in 17 games for Marcus Rashford since the World Cup, 6 in the last 5, so he's not going to be happy until he's stuck one in the back of the net tonight. Another goal for Manchester United, and you think that would probably be enough, but you never know.
Yeah, it's that kind of game, and it's that kind of opposition. You actually don't know. I mean, you can be certain the moment the referee ends the game, but until then, anything can happen, and we know that from the first game as well. Anything can happen in this tie.
2-1 Manchester United. They were 2-1 up in the Nou Camp, and Rafinha curled that cross into the far corner that took it to 2-2. Frankie de Jong could have been a Manchester United player now in the colours of Barcelona, plays it to the right to Koundé. Shaw reads the pass, Koundé down, challenged by Garnacho. He's going to get booked for that as well. The referee was quite a way away, but he was pretty certain. Yellow card straight out, free kick Barcelona.
We're seeing that in the it's a bit of a nasty one as well, and I think a yellow card is warranted, and I he was a bit far away, but the linesman was right there, and he might have just told him, look at this, there's no doubt about that. Yeah. That's a yellow card.
Missed the ball, caught the man.
It's also given Barcelona an opportunity now. It's on the touchline, and it's about 10 yards outside the 18-yard line, and Manchester United are defending like 2-3 yards outside. But these are always dangerous situations, and they need to concentrate and defend as well.
Here's the free kick. Ferran Torres takes it with his right foot, curling ball to the far post, headed away by Varane. Balde there first for Barcelona. Torres making a run to the far post, but Barcelona have gone wide left for the time being. Busquets cross comes in. Martinez jumps to win the header. It comes off Dalot back towards Martinez. Another powerful header away. Balde chests that down, then looks for a teammate to his right, and that's Koundé. Koundé always giving that away. Garnacho slightly miscontrols but keeps it in wide on the left inside his own half. Fancies a bit of one-on-one here against Koundé. Koundé's backpedaling. Fred makes the run, looks for the 1-2. Garnacho's first touch takes him a little wide. Rashford in the middle, it's behind Rashford, and he couldn't get a finish on the ball, and Barcelona should be able to clear. Fred in with a challenge on De Jong. The ball runs to Kessie, and Kessie launches it high in the air, and the ball now drops for Varane just inside his own half. He side foots one. Lob pass down the line to Anthony, into the feet of Casemiro. Manchester United looking to kill the tie towards Anthony, runs to Rashford, drops the shoulder, hits it, and it's into the side netting. That got half of Old Trafford quite excited.
What an opportunity for Garnacho just before. It's one of the things he's only young, of course. He needs to work on that end product, which is either a shot or a better pass than what he delivered.
Barcelona sweeping forward. They took that goal kick ever so quickly. I hadn't even noticed. It's going to go very end to end like a game of basketball right now. Lewandowski bundled to the floor. No free kick. Casemiro plays it out to the right to Anthony. Just got a feeling there's going to be another goal. Looking for Rashford. Rashford on the run with Araujo. They go shoulder to shoulder. Great defending. He held Rashford off, and now Rashford is down and flat on his back inside the Barcelona penalty area, and slowly getting to his feet. Play won't stop. De Jong slides it through to Fati. Fati slips there. Varane is able to take it away from him. Dalot plays back to Martinez. Rashford is still down away to our left in front of the Stretford end. He's now flipped over onto his knees. His head is bowed to the floor, and Anthony points downfield, stops the game, and knocks the ball out of play. League Cup final on the way on Sunday. He's in the form of his life. Manchester United need him fit.
No, we saw a couple of games back that he was chasing a ball, and then he stretches his hip in a way, and he was. We thought he was injured and he had to come off, and he came back on the pitch and he played on. So he might have little nickels that that's hurting him now, but Man United without Rashford at the moment, it's just that's not something that's not a great thought, I have to say.
Don't want to contemplate that one. Rashford still flat on his back away to our left, being attended to by the medical staff. Barcelona getting ready to make another change. We're into the 81st minute of the game. 5 Live, BBC Sounds and BBC Radio Manchester tonight. Manchester United having been 1-0 down to the Lewandowski penalty, now 2-1 up in the second half, and Marcos Alonso is going to come into this game.
That's an interesting substitution, by the way.
Yeah, to Araujo. Yeah,
Araujo comes off. He's been absolutely outstanding in the middle of the Barcelona defence, and Alonso's coming on, so it's a like for like again. Rashford is up again, walking, which is good news
for Manchester United fans.
And he's walking towards the touchline, which means that he's not coming off.
Yeah.
So not too bad, hopefully.
Yeah, League Cup final Sunday, 4:30. Steve Crossman with the show, live from Wembley on Sunday. Great cast list, I think at some point, Peter, we're going to be speaking to you.
Yes.
And you'll be there, won't you?
I'll be
on
there.
Sunday. I think you and Shay Given, two goalkeepers, sort of head to head.
Yeah, let's hope the goalkeepers are not playing, the leading parts in that game. But no, it's interesting. That game is it's greatly anticipated. It comes, just on it's just a string of games that Man United are playing of incredible importance. on Wednesday. Then it's West Ham here at Old Trafford in the FA Cup, and then it's Liverpool at Anfield on the Sunday.
That's right.
It's just one big game after the next, and it's how the club really like to exist, if you like.
Lewandowski trying to control one on the edge of the Manchester United box. Again, United fans inside Old Trafford breathe a sigh of relief because they've cleared it. And Garnacho, that's an awful foul from Busquets. He's grabbed Garnacho by both shoulders and just dragged him down. That's a rugby challenge, that, and quite rightly. He gets booked. Manchester United get the free kick just inside the Barcelona half.
Yeah, that was what we call a professional foul. He took one for the team, and Sergio Busquets, he's been doing this all of his career. He knows the moment when to do it, when it's worth doing it, and in that particular moment, it was definitely worth doing because Garnacho was on his way towards the Barcelona goal. He's still down.
Yeah.
And I can say that Marcus Rashford, he's back on the pitch. He looks to be all right. He might just have been a little bit tired. He's played so much football of late, and you can understand, the mental pressure of and the fatigue, the mental fatigue of playing so many games. And it's not so much being on the pitch, to be honest. It's packing your suitcase, going into a hotel, doing the same routine over and over again. It's that is what wears you up. The warm-ups, the warm-downs, all of that. The football is quite brilliant, I have to say, but it's everything in between that is difficult to deal with.
I think we saw a little bit of that with him last season, but it's absolutely clicked this season. He's back on his feet. Garnacho is still down at the moment. 34-year-old Sergio Busquets realised that 18-year-old Alejandro Garnacho is getting away. And that's
he's been a danger man since he came on. He's so good at challenging players. He's not the finished product yet. There is so many likeness to a player like Ryan Giggs when he was 17, 18 years of age. He was coming at pace, twisting, turning, challenging players, but it wasn't coming off for him every single time. Now and again, yes, but not every single time. And he's at that stage now where he's experiencing how he can use the enormous talent that he's got.
Peter Schmeichel with us at Old Trafford. Free kick taken by Lisandro Martinez. Anthony gets in between two defenders to win a header. Ansu Fati reacts. Dalot's behind him. Dalot's won it off. Fati can't keep the ball in play. That'll be a throw into Barcelona in the left back position.
Sometimes I'm really confused about the rules because Garnacho was down for a long time and then he was never coming off.
Yeah, he stayed on the pitch, didn't he, Peter? Throw in Barcelona. Garnacho's okay. Rashford's okay. And Manchester United very much okay going into the last 5 minutes plus added time of this Europa League playoff round. Lewandowski, clever little flick over the head of Martinez. Now that's a foul. And Casemiro's done exactly what Busquets did to Garnacho. Free kick for Barcelona. They want to take it quickly, and that's a yellow card for Casemiro. Peter Schmeichel here with us. Will be with us through until 10:30. Thank you for your company as well on BBC Radio Manchester this evening.
That was a bit silly by Casemiro. He didn't have to do that. Lewandowski, he had the ball. He was running towards the Manchester United goal, but there were so many defenders back, and he was on his own. It was unnecessary to get that yellow card.
Can they see it out? Busquets, pass to the right. Ferran Torres stretches out a leg, brings it under control, turns away from Garnacho, running across the face of the Manchester United penalty area. A couple of red shirts there to stop him. Little chip ball from the back here for Kessie to chase. Kessie won't keep it in. Goal kick for Manchester United. They're closing in on the win, and wins over Barcelona, Peter Schmeichel, are very precious indeed. 14 games overall between these two great clubs ahead of this one. Barcelona have won 6, Manchester United have won 3. But if they can win this one tonight, through to the last 16 of the Europa League, in that draw along with Arsenal, they can't draw each other either, and David De Gea is getting ready to take the goal.
And it will be massive for Manchester United to go through. There's no big financial rewards if they go through tonight. It's not going to mean too much in terms of what kind of players that can be signed or such. That's not it. But the prestige of being in the tournament, and of course they go through here, they will be one of the favourites to win it. And it's a great trophy to win.
Yeah,
it wasn't 5 years ago. Now it is.
And the continuation of the project under Eric Ten Hag, a win over Barcelona, is such a massive feather in the cap. Rashford's going to get a rest. So Manchester United certainly hoping this one won't be going to extra time. Scott McTominay is coming on. Standing ovation again for Marcus Rashford. He will be well rested. Time for him to recover. As I said at the start of the night, less than 72 hours until the League Cup final on Sunday. And I think Newcastle United will be facing him. And goodness me, Newcastle United have had a good defence so far this season. Managed a clean sheet against Manchester United here earlier in the season. We're very much looking forward to that one. Manchester United got to see this one through.
It's a really good substitution by Ten Hag, because he's protecting his player. Obviously, he looked very, very tired, and I think that was it. That was more than he was injured. He was tired. So take him off, make sure nothing else happens, and then you put energy in Scott McTominay in.
De Jong striding out of his own half, outside of his right foot, looking for the run of Ferran Torres. Varane has it covered. Back to De Gea. De Gea really had to concentrate on the bouncing ball. Clears with his right foot, and Balde heads it down the right-hand touchline. Good defending from Luke Shaw. Knew Kessie was there. Just clips the ball into him. Off Kessie it comes. Goes out for a throw into Manchester United.
It's brilliant to watch Varane. He looks like he's a worn-out player. The way the knee injuries he's got or has had in his career, you can actually see them from the stands. He looks a little, and then he's quick. He's deceivingly quick, and he cleans up so well. It's just amazing. I was not convinced. I mean, it's a lot of signings I've never really sort of been convinced about. I thought it was a weird signing, but he's been so good, and when he's playing, it's just it's so comfortable to be a fan watching him play.
Throw in for Manchester United. Luke Shaw takes it. McTominay the substitute here, just trying to hold Christensen off, and Christensen uses his body to try and knock McTominay out of the way. The ball goes behind for a Barcelona goal kick. We're about to tick over into the 90th minute of the game, and since taking the lead, Manchester United, they've done really, really well at just closing this down for Barcelona and not really giving them much playing time. 4 trophies still on the line for Manchester United this season. You have to say they're in the title race. FA Cup 5th round next Wednesday, League Cup final to come on Sunday, and it looks like they're heading through to the last 16 of the Europa League. Fernandes controls, curls the ball down the left. McTominay chases. Antony's making ground in the middle. McTominay collects it, turns away from the penalty area. Has Garnacho for support here. Garnacho wide on the left, thinks about dribbling towards the box. Plays back to Casemiro. Casemiro tackled. De Jong slides in, wins another one against Fred, and now De Jong brings the ball away brilliantly for Barcelona. Shaw makes a tackle. It runs to Ferran Torres. Torres running at the heart of the Manchester United defence, slides it into the box, can't quite find Lewandowski.
And who was there?
Who was there?
Varane again. I mean, he's having a really, really good game.
5 minutes of added time, Peter.
Whoa, 5 minutes.
Hang in there. 5 minutes of added time. Peter Schmeichel sitting nervously alongside in the Old Trafford commentary box. Manchester United leading Barcelona 2-1 on the night, 4-3 on aggregate. De Jong scoop ball to Lewandowski. World-class performers are out there. Koundé's cross in, and Fred heads it away. Martinez with a second header. Lewandowski really runs to try and get to that ahead of Fernandes. Did he catch Fernandes? Yes, he did.
Well done,
a free kick, Manchester United.
He got his revenge there from the penalty, because that wasn't a big touch, but he went down. And now Manchester United can attack.
Yeah, taking the free kick quickly on the counter, and Garnacho, it's bobbled away from him. He had players in the middle in McTominay and Anthony. Ter Stegen just dribbling the ball across his 6-yard box, plays it to his left to Christensen, into the feet of Kessie. Barcelona obviously will continue to play and try and find a way through the Manchester United defence into added time at Old Trafford. Manchester United leading 2-1 and on the verge of knocking Barcelona out of this European competition. Busquets looking for Lewandowski, using all his strength to hold off Martinez. Martinez fouls him. Luke Shaw just thumps the ball into the stands to try and waste a few more seconds.
Yeah, it's a multi-ball system, so you don't waste that much. Ball's forward in play again.
Back underway. Chip ball out from the back from Marcos Alonso. Wide to the left, controlled by Balde. Red shirts everywhere, trying to shut this down for Manchester United. What a win it will be for Erik ten Hag and his players. What a fillip going into that Carabao Cup final on Sunday. Christensen on the ball, gets away from Bruno Fernandes, passes it straight to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw looking for options, back to Casemiro, floated one up towards Fernandes, tries to flick the header onto McTominay, who's in the centre forward role, didn't get enough on it, throw in for Barcelona.
There's a lot of frustration in the Barcelona team now. some of the strikers are making really, really good runs, but the ball is not played to them, and you can see the head shakes and the arm lifting and everything, So Man United, they've got them exactly where they want them to be, but they need to concentrate for another 3 minutes.
Exactly right. 3 minutes to play here at Old Trafford. De Jong looking to slice the United defence open with another pinpoint pass. It's blocked. Busquets fires it out to the right-hand side. Ferran Torres sprints, collects it down by the byline on the right. Curls that cross in. Just too high for Ansu Fati. It bounces once in front of Anthony. He hooks it over his shoulder.
Ansu Fati actually saved Manchester United there, because Lewandowski was coming in behind him with a clear header.
Bruno Fernandes celebrating winning a throw-in there, and the whole stadium gets on its feet.
Doesn't take much, does it? Well done, Ansu Fati. Well done, well defended. It was a great cross in from Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres has had a lot of space on the left-hand side, and he's one of the frustrated players because he doesn't get the ball. Garnacho's still been very, very offensive, and that leaves that space in behind.
Forward to Bruno Fernandes, who didn't win the header. Just looking at the stopwatch here, Peter, we're into the last 2 minutes of the game. Danger for Manchester United again. Barcelona deep in added time. Ferran Torres finds Lewandowski, who shoots. He's dragged it. What a block by Varane on the goal line. That might have been heading into the bottom corner. It's gone behind. Well, it initially had gone behind for a corner, but the referee's got the flag up for offside, I think.
I don't see the offside,
or the hat,
but Lewandowski, who will score 99 out of 100 times on that, got the ball past. Let's see if they're offside.
Not there.
No offside.
Not to Ferran Torres.
There's no offside anywhere.
Ball play to Lewandowski. Blocked by Varane.
That would have gone back to VAR, and if that had got in, it would have stood as a goal. But Varane, great tracking back.
Lewandowski right at the start of the move, possibly, Peter, and the flag's just gone out very, very late.
All right,
but Varane didn't know.
No, but Varane again. I mean, what a save! What a save! What a game he's had! What a giant he is in that Manchester United defence.
Well, Peter Schmeichel sitting alongside me has played in this stadium for Manchester United on nights like this, and you can hear the atmosphere really building to a crescendo now as we head towards the full-time whistle. Anthony trying to win a corner for Manchester United. Can't do so. 30 seconds to play of the minimum amount of added time. Whistle start up around the ground. Manchester United on the verge of beating Barcelona over the two legs, the La Liga leaders. Christensen's pass intercepted. Manchester United, can they kill it with a third goal? Garnacho keeps the ball in play wide on the left-hand side, running at Koundé, looking for Fernandes on the edge of the box, intercepted. Alonso gets ready to clear. Bruno Fernandes falls to his knees in celebration. The full-time whistle blows. Xavi comes across and shakes hands with Erik ten Hag. A great night, a great tie between two great clubs, and it's Manchester United who come out on top, and they make it through to the last 16 of the Europa League. Went behind tonight to the Robert Lewandowski penalty and weren't really at the races in the first half. Erik ten Hag made the change at half-time. Anthony came on, who actually eventually scored the winner. He came on for Wout Weghorst. United looked a different team in the second half. Fred with the equaliser, Anthony with the winner. A famous win, Peter Schmeichel, for your former club.
Famous win. You can see what it means to the players, and this is what we haven't seen for a long time. An Argentine World Cup winner is running up towards the crowd, celebrating like mad. A Brazilian Casemiro running up to the crowd, celebrating like mad. A Portuguese running up to the... It's really, really brilliant for someone like me to sit here and see that passion that these guys, they have for Manchester United. Haven't seen that for a very, very long time. Now they're joined by a Frenchman and another Argentine player coming up there. It's just fantastic, that connection to the crowd. And I have to say, we have been spoiled by 180 minutes of absolutely fantastic football.
Rafael Varane has got the Manchester United fans going at the moment. A roar every time he swings his fist in the air. Erik ten Hag has something very special going here at Old Trafford. Fred's giving it a little boogie. Out on the pitch there at the moment. League Cup final to come for Manchester United against Newcastle United on Sunday. But this is a huge win on the night, a huge win in the tie, a huge win for a club that, as Erik ten Hag said, needed a reset, a little bit like Barcelona. They went toe-to-toe over 180 minutes of end-to-end thrilling football, and it's Manchester United who come out on top, 2-1 on the night, 4-3 on aggregate.